I want to talk about what messaging strategy is and why your business needs it. Since I'm the co-CEO of a company called North Star Messaging and Strategy, it seems like I should be able to address this question of what is messaging strategy. So let's dive in. I think the closest concept that a lot of people have before they dive into this world is a branding strategy. So you may have met with a brander, gone through a formal branding or even rebranding process, and you've gone through this strategy, right? What do I want my look and appearance, my brand to evoke? What do I want it to feel like for the people who interact with it? What values do I want it to share? Messaging strategy is all of that and more. It's even higher level because it does include branding strategy. Messaging strategy is all of those questions. How do I want people to feel, and how do I want my values to come across in my content and my branding and everything, but also in my actions. So this is a very high level concept. Bear in mind, you already have a message, whether or not you've ever gone through a formal messaging strategy process. The things that you do, the policies that you have, the way that you behave, the way that you handle those difficult conversations and those difficult choices, the way that you share the values that you have, and not just by talking about them, but by actually reflecting them in the things that you do and say. All of that is part of your message. And so the work of this messaging strategy is really important to do, A, on the front end, but also B, continually through the process of being a business owner. Because at the end of the day, you're a living, breathing person, and your business is changing too. You're evolving over time. The people that you work with are maybe changing a little bit, or the way that you handle these things as you go through these difficult situations is changing. You're maturing, you're growing, and you want to have a deeper impact. And so it's important for like every 6 to 12 months to go through a process of evaluating your messaging strategy. So go through these questions, because if you don't, other people are going to go through them for you. Do you know any businesses that you've made some assumptions about that you feel are pretty right, just based on maybe the way customer service treated you, or maybe based on some of their policies that you saw, in the small print of a purchase? Did you maybe have an opinion about them because of the way that they treated another employee, or the way that they interact with people on social media? They're showing their messaging. And their messaging is probably not as intentional as they want it to be if those are negative takeaways. So this is important for you to bear in mind, because as soon as you create the messaging strategy, you say, these are the values I want to reflect. These are the topics that I want to be known for and sought out for. This is the area of expertise that I want it to be obvious to everybody that I bring to the table. All of those pieces, when you have them and you can be intentional about them and focused, then you can create content, you can have a branding strategy, you can have all those decisions that you have in your business that reflect those choices that you've already made. But it's a lot harder to do it on the fly. So that's what a branding strategy is, and that's why it's important in your business, because at the end of the day, it's a huge piece of your integrity as a business and as a business owner. And the sooner that you're able to, A, establish that initial messaging strategy, but then later on, go back in and reinforce that strategy and revisit it, make sure that it's aligned with your evolution as a business and business owner, then the more in integrity that you will be as a business owner with your messaging strategy. Now, what we do is we focus specifically on your content as the delivery mechanism for that messaging strategy. But before we ever dive into that, it's very important that we go through with our clients a process of really understanding those values, their vision, the mission, the why, all of those deep pieces that are there in place and that sometimes just kind of get forgotten because we all kind of get in a rut of doing the thing. So this is my challenge to you, is go ahead and put on the calendar every 6 to 12 months, a CEO day, a meeting with yourself and maybe some of the other chief executives in your company to evaluate this messaging strategy. See what it is that you want to be known for and sought out for in terms of your expertise, but also your values. And then ensure that this is communicated to everybody in your company to make sure that they are reflecting those values and that expertise as well. Thanks so much for listening.